Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to kind of show a little bit of a little Kitbash set that I started with Blender. And I started using this inside of Gravity Sketch to kind of bring in and kind of get something going. So this is where I'm starting, because in Gravity Sketch I like modeling in there, but sometimes it takes a little longer to do stuff. But if you bring in a little Kitbash set, and that kind of inspired me because I saw a little set on their main library and you can open it up, and I was like, why don't I just make a little quick one? And so I got some inspiration from YouTube and some other plugins that I have, and so now I have like a little mini bash set. You got your little rockets, little thrusters here, your little main shells for your thing. I was gonna break them up, like some of these are whole models and some of them are pieces, and this is all pieces of a model as I built onto them. Some of the plugins I'm using, I'm going to pull those up right now so you can see. Random Flow, love this, by Blender Guppy, and really cool tool. It's like kind of reminds me of like a Greeble plugin. I'm coming from 3D Max, and so I'm learning Blender. This kind of inspired me to learn more about it, but there's a lot of stuff in here. Go to your Blender Market to find this, and then the other one was Hard Ops and Box Cutter. I'm still learning this one. It's a little more complicated on the tools, but they work really well if you're looking to do some advanced modeling. And there's some stuff in here, a bunch of tutorials and everything you can find online. But yeah, I've been doing this so I can get something inside of Gravity Sketch and just piece together stuff that I've noticed that whenever I do bring it into Gravity Sketch, that if you don't have, if I'm going to press the N on the keyboard, if you don't have your rotation and your scale and all that stuff kind of reset to 0, it'll actually factor what that is. And so let me go ahead and circle this so it can show. It's this little window. And what happens is that these will come in deformed, these models. Some of these models I've noticed would be skewed based on the scale and everything else here. So some of it would have been normal, and whenever I didn't have it selected, it was kind of distorted. So you have to reset that. So in order to do that, you can push Control A, and then you can apply all transforms, and it'll set them all to 0. Something I kind of learned going back and forth. And so what I would do is just kind of get a cube, and this is just a real quick example. And sometimes I would use the plugins that I have, and so if I were to go here, I can actually apply the mirror and then select it, and say for instance I just want it on the X and the Y, and maybe all sides. We'll do all sides. And so we'll go from there. So we'll confirm that. So now this is actually going to repeat. I can actually add some segments, and we'll add a few segments here. We'll just go. It's just a kind of a playing around with, and then just give it something else right there. And so these plugins, I'm going to use the Random Flow. You can select your vertices that you want to use. So I'm going to do this first face right here, and we probably select all these and get out of there. And then we're going to go ahead and do the Random Flow. So I do the Random Loop extrude, and oh, I lost it. Let's do it again. Random loops. We're going to select, and I'm going to move this out the way so we can kind of see. So we can do 2 or 3, and depending on how you say it, original, I can uncheck this and it'll double up on top of that. So we can go to original only, unchecked, and then you can actually adjust based on that. So we can actually define these loops down here. More loop subdivisions give you some extra. You can keep them big and then go smaller on top of that. Kind of gives it a little more interest. And that's what I've been kind of doing with all these models. It's just now you got like a little block. It looks like a little inset thing I can stick in there. Let's see what else we can add. Selecting the mesh, going from here. deselect that. Go back into here, random, and we'll select again. And depending on how many loops you want, you can go all the way up to 5, and it'll keep going. We'll keep it simple. You can tell it the ratio, so as you go up or down, it'll increase or decrease. You can go with this, and it gives you different kind of results. It's interesting. You see some kind of cargo box that you can do, and let's do one more. Let's do one on the top, and you can do just isolated on this, and yeah, you can see how quick I'm getting something modeled and not really having to make it too much of a headache getting something out. We can go one more. We can go here, something smaller, tab out the model, and we can actually lower this so that it can go, and then we can start extruding up, and start playing with this. Give it more. Play with the seeds. That's interesting. So something like that. We can break that lower, and if we want, we can do one more little pass and break those into smaller pieces. You kind of got a top, but don't really need that. I think it's fine. I'm gonna bring that up or down. You can see the variance. You can play with the different settings. It just depends. This is your seed. Get some. Go until you find something you like, and we'll go with that. And if you want to edit these, you can go into your model, select it, select your panels. You can extrude them out, and these are looped, so I can actually kind of come in one by one, extrude in, make it look like it's something to be picked up on or left on or something else. So let's go here to another model, tab into here. Let's get that. It's one more space. Just add a little interest. We don't really need much. Just kind of break it down. Go there, and I don't even know if we need that much variation. See. So that's your panels, and then you can change other thing to a number, percentage. Let's see what we got. Let's see, percent, 5%. Break this up to 2. Let's see what else we got. That there you go, and then we can vary this up. Okay, so now we got a model. And usually what I'll do is just kind of go ahead and convert this all to an editable mesh. That way it's not anything crazy, but where I'm going to show you is make sure that all this is staying the same, because sometimes if I grab it and then I scale it, that scale factor will make a difference. So if I scale it this way, this is going to make a difference in there if I bring it into Gravity Sketch or something else. And this can be like a, I don't know, just floating something next to it, or just a big piece, a big machinery piece. Looks kind of interesting. It could be a fuel cell or something. I can scale it down, but it can be something. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to grab this, and let's just move it out the way. This way over here. It probably needs to be scaled, so let's go ahead and scale it down so it's not so big. And go this way, and let's bring it up to this. So now we got like a little piece to be added. So I did scale it, and you can see right here. So let's go ahead and do the Control A to apply all, and you'll see on the right it'll reset all this. Boom, 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 boom. The only thing is that I didn't want to reset that location. I want to keep the location where it's at. So let's do it again. Control A, but we're just going to do the scale. So this will help it from being deformed whenever we go to the next piece. Now I kind of keep them separated in case I'm in Gravity Sketch and I want to remove a piece, so I can just either take it away or just use pieces of it, because it's still there. It's still parts of it, and I can still keep parts of it that I don't want in there. And so let's go ahead and save this out. Okay, I'm about to stop it right here. I'm going to jump into the next part, is bringing this into, well, let's go do this before I jump into the next part. Let's export this. We're going to go to FBX, export, and this should be into same folder, FBX, and I have Kitbash scene already. Let's do a number 3, and then we'll export everything from here. I usually leave all this at default, but we'll see what happens. Export, and let me pull up Gravity Sketch real quick. So I'm going to pause this, and then we'll go to there. Okay, so now we're on landing pad for Gravity Sketch. This will be your cloud, and this way you can upload your model into here. And I already have a folder. It's called Kitbash files. You can see some of the other ones that I started. I'm going to go ahead and open those up real quick. Just a preview view document, and this will kind of show the previous Kitbash from the same little set, but I just started playing around with it and trying to get different models and stuff. This is the back of the ship. Let's go back one. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. This is the front of it. Let's see if that'll open up. There you go. And then I have to do the little 3D people in there, so you can see them and looking at the ship. And I just kind of throwing pieces together. I'll show a little bit more in a bit. This is another one. I just kind of started learning about doing more Kitbash. I don't know, just having fun with it, really. See if this loads. This is a different view of that other one. Just kind of throwing pieces together, and you can see right here on the ground I kind of threw that one piece of another one in there. So let's go ahead and grab my model. I'm gonna go to my folder real quick. Blender. So what I'm gonna do is grab this file and bring it into the upload. So let's see if I can just drag and drop. So it's gonna just upload in there. You can do upload files here, but I think drag and drop works fine too. Let's move this out the way. And so since this is gonna upload, and I'll have another file, so when I jump into Gravity Sketch, it should be there on my little folder. I can open it up and start doing some models. So I'm going to go ahead and let this upload. Then we're going to jump into the Gravity Sketch on the Oculus. I'll probably do it for the standalone and not the PC, just to kind of show what the limits are, because there is a memory cap on the Oculus headset standalone, Quest 2, Meta 2, whatever you want to call it. And you'll hit a wall, but it should be fine. So jump over there real quick. Okay. So now we are inside the Oculus Quest 2 or Meta Quest 2. We're going to go ahead and open up Gravity Sketch. Let's open this up. I did do a quick test to make sure everything works so that y'all aren't waiting for anything. So the file should be loaded. So I'm going to start a new scene in here. So go to New Sketch. So now we're in a new environment. You can change your lighting and everything if you need, but I'm going to go ahead and open up this. And so we'll still see our workspace in here in the references, but if you want to go to prefabs, we can go into import models and then go to that workspace folder. We're going to open that up. Kitbash files, that folder that I had. And so you're going to see everything loaded up. So what I want to look at is this one that I just saved. I brought in on the PC, and then I started in Blender, so you can start to see that little model right there. If I click it, it brings it in. We can go to 1:1, so it's in the scale, and we can rotate it in anything else. So we're gonna keep it the way it is. Say yes. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Let's zoom out. So everything from Blender imported in, and you can see that the model, I'm not trying to make you dizzy, but it's pretty fluid. It's not lagging. It's pretty pretty good. It's able to handle this much geometry so far. When you start duplicating things, it might start getting a little slower, but let's go ahead and start playing with this. So it's a group, so we're going to grab this and we're going to break it. So this one, and you're going to push that bottom purple button. It should break these pieces out. So now we have individual pieces. So we'll just put that back. The tricky part that I'm fine with starting these models, like if you're going to do symmetry, you can grab the model and put it right here, but you're going to have to line it up evenly. So what I've been doing is if you hold this button and this button right here at the same time, you can bring out your tools, and then I start moving them this way. So I'll grab this little gizmo, and this will actually let you grab it a little bit better, and then you can start to move models to the center. So we could probably duplicate one of these, and let's see if go right here. So we can grab this model, and you can start to see that it's one big model. So I might need to start grouping these if I want to keep them together. So if I grab anything else, it's not gonna grab a little piece. Let's see if I can grab a little piece of it. See, they're all pieces of a thing, and like I said, it's kind of cool because you can also use these as other pieces to just create more geometry. But what I'll do is probably group this. So we're going to grab this with this little button right here, and then do the same thing with the purple, except we're going to do it this. And so now that's a group. Some of these are full models, so they're not even pieces, they're just one model. Ones like this, I'll probably group, and it just depends on how you want to work. Makes it easier. Here's that little box that I created in Blender, and if you need, you can go to your window and we can adjust our lighting. We can go to this little flashlight and start moving it around, see how it looks. You can also change your HDR, and to get rid of this, if you don't want this in the way, you can push these two again, this one and this one, hold them together and drag back, and it'll disappear. That's a little kind of neat little magic trick. You just pull it in and pull it out. Oh, and I'm doing little strips as I do it, so I don't need that. So just in and out. You'll get used to these gestures as you keep doing this. So let's see, we can move this light around, give it a little more dynamic look. We can also, if you're happy with the light, you can either anchor it or delete it, and it'll be where it's at till you need it. See, look, I already moved stuff right here, so I'll just undo that. So let's go ahead and start grouping stuff so they're not moving around. Group this. Is that group? Nope. Just group a few things, that way we're not having to do this after a bit. Just kind of helps. So this one, I'll break it. How I mentioned whenever I said it came in scaled. So let me get my little marker out. So what happened is that you can start to see that it went a different way. It was actually this one right here, but it skewed it in this direction. So you can have an arrow, and it scaled it kind of down, or scaled it this way, going up, I guess, and it flattened it. So I liked it, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So I went ahead and made a duplicate inside of Blender and kept one flattened. You can see I scaled it on this one direction, and it seemed to work out. It seemed to be an interesting piece, so I kept it. You can see I'm not stuttering yet. When you start duplicating a bunch of objects, it'll get a little slow. You can only do so much with the quest, but it's pretty cool what you can do with it. So we got all this, group it. So I'm grabbing the whole model and then grouping them. And you can start to see I did the same little script from the random flow, and I love the script because it's real quick. The other one I'm learning a little bit more, the one I pointed out, the hard ops one, There's a few hotkeys that I'm still trying to get familiar with that I don't know all of them, but I'm starting to get a little more comfortable with it, doing cuts and stuff like that. It's real fun plugins. I would say it'd be cool if you could just use Blender right out the box, but sometimes, you know, can't really complain considering it's free to start with and you're just going with the little upgrades here and there. So I'm just checking to see if they're purple. I don't know if this is pieced. Yeah, it is pieced. Let's go ahead and group that. And we're gonna grab this group. This is one piece. All right, and that should be all one piece too, I believe. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so most of these objects, go ahead and do this just in case. I'm pretty sure these are pieces on some of them, not this one, but yeah, it's one piece. So getting into Kitbash, we can start to go from here. I'll probably save just to be safe. You never know. Save on cloud, save local because I got the memory. I can do it. Save sketch. I don't know. Kitbash underscore. What is it? 3 or go V3 because that's a version of the Kitbash, and we'll go incremental save for if I save as later on, or if I want to open this up. So go ahead and go with that. It's always good to save. You never know. Computers and stuff like that always crashes. And we can change our lighting too. We can give it a little more lighter or darker. Give it up. We'll lighten it up so it's not so dark, so we can see. You can change your HDRs. It actually affects the models. We can change the textures while we're at it. While we're here, we can grab them, and then we can change the colors, and we can go to a darker look. That looks cool, but it's hard to see too, so the environment's gonna need to be adjusted. You start to see some of those shapes. Go with that. We can lighten it up a little bit, and we could probably even change the material. So if I grab this, and then if you're new to Gravity Sketch, you can click this button. So what I'm doing is, I guess for people who are not used to Gravity Sketch, you can see that little toggle. It's going up and down. I'm gonna grab everything. So push it up, and then it's all inside this little bubble. So if I pull this little trigger as I do it, it's selected now, and it is moving. But if I push this button, the color button on the joystick, it'll go back to normal. But we can kind of tweak it, and we can also do this again. Take some getting used to. So you can select colors. You saw that little tune line. That's pretty neat. Get some sketches. This one's pretty good for just seeing the details. I like the metal, but let's go with some. That looks pretty cool. Let's go with that, and let's change the colors. Give a little metal looking, little metal green. Now we can change the color later. We can always go from there, and then you can also get the highlights. So I know I'm going over a lot of basic stuff, but for anybody who's new to Gravity Sketch and getting used to this program, there's a lot of back and forth with it. So I'm just trying to take it a little slow this morning and trying to explain things slowly, because sometimes it gets overwhelming if you're new to this, and just grabbing these and rotating around if you're still trying to navigate. So the reason why I kind of went to kit bashing is to kind of get things modeled a little bit quicker, because we can start, modeling and I always like to have that mirror turned on, so when I do model, we're modeling in the mirror, and we can sketch stuff out if we need to, and then put stuff where we need it. It just depends on what you want. Looks like I've been scribbling some stuff and seeing it. I don't know where the other one is. It's somewhere. Alright, so let's turn that off. Let's go ahead and go back to those tools that I was talking about. We're going to do this button, bring out those tools, and let's start putting stuff to the center of the screen. So now that everything's kind of, how you would say it, like grouped. And I don't know, I'm still learning too, so don't feel bad if you're learning. We're all learning. We're always learning. This stuff wasn't always available. So what I'm doing is selecting. You can select these objects, so you can grab this and then touch an object, and it'll select it. And so if you hold this button right here, when you grab it, it'll select, and you can just, it turns on this toggle. And then you can also do it to scale and other things. And you can also see there's a snap on there, and I lost my thing. Let's see, select, and then you can press the button to snap. And you can also do left and right to change it to rotation. And the left and right is this left and right, and it'll change this to different things. So we're gonna do this trigger right here when we pull it. I'll make it a little model so as I do it. So let's go ahead and drag this to the center. Right there. We'll try to get as close as we can. We can grab this, and this will help kind of like plan the model a little bit easier. We can turn this on. There we go. And there you go. Kind of zeroed in slightly, trying to get it close. And probably what I can do, I probably should have duplicated that in case I wanted another piece, but it's okay. This is just for a demonstration. This is what we can do. We're going to turn on grid. So you can turn it on here. And if you turn on your grid, you can zoom in. Sometimes you can see the little dots, sometimes you can't. Let's see if I can see it. I can't see the grid. It might be too big or too small. Yeah. But let's keep going. Let's move forward. What do we want? We want some wings. We want a front. I like this for like a main thing. We could scale that up. But it also looks like this could be a good front. So let's go ahead and do this. So let's see if that snap kind of works. So there's a way, if you do this, you can get it to snap to the center somewhat. It's a little tricky, but it works. So let's see if the snaps. There you go. See those snaps? It's snapping kind of. Look at that. That looks cool. And it just kind of works in there. That's why I'm trying to get this to snap pretty good. So let's get this on center. That looks like centered. So when I do it, I'm trying to do it snap on center. And let's do this. It should snap a little bit better. I might need the snapping a little closer. That's neat. So let's go grab it, and we're going to, we can scale this. Look at that. Or we can scale it down and then go this. Makes it a little easier when you're using the snaps and stuff, because you're not you're not going too far off from this. That's interesting. It might need to be a little bit bigger. And you can also rotate. So if I want to rotate that down, give it a little more. So I've been learning Blender and trying to get a little better at it. It's not too far off from learning 3D Max for me, so it's been pretty good, pretty fun. And then getting these Kitbash models in here, trying to go from here to there. This probably needs to be scaled. Now look at it. We can scale it up just a bit. That way, kind of, you can see, just have fun. Don't beat yourself up on this one. This is just for an experiment, and have fun with it. We can break pieces down. We're gonna grab one of these, and that looks centered. We could drag this on. I'm surprised the little grid isn't working, but it's probably too big or too small. Grid on, density 20. Let's go. Maybe it needs to be up or down. Let's see. Or maybe it's only when I model. Never really thought about it. Kind of jump into Gravity Sketch off and on, so it's kind of a program that I just kind of play around with whenever I get a chance. Can't go wrong with it. Look at that. Starting to build out to be a longer ship. All right, so now you can start to see a little bit of the density. You see it? There it is. But it doesn't affect that, so that doesn't really do much for me. So let's go and turn it off. Okay, so we kind of got the main hull in here. And what's cool is that you don't have to stick with the kit bashing. You can actually just keep going. We can bring in primitives if we really want to. And then that can be, just we can turn on to edit it, get it a little bit more shaped. See, I got like a piece right there. And so if you want to mirror it, let's go to the tools, this bottom one right here, and then we can go to convert to subdivision, and we can do a mirrored object. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So if we want to stay right here before you turn it, we can start editing it even here, and then just go from that. Then we'll turn it to a polygon. So now we can actually just start adjusting, and then we can go to little parts like this, and see. Now you start to see that you can just mold this model however you want. And like, you just got like a little kind of a thing going on, and we can start slicing it up too. So if you want to get in here, we're gonna put a slice, and put a slice in here, and we can actually grab a face and extrude up or move. Really, whatever you want to do. Turn this off, and so we can grab a face, and then we can actually just pull that up, or we can duplicate it and go like that, and then you got like a little stepping area, and it looks like a part of that ship. So the tricky thing is that if you put your little hand behind here, for anybody new, you can grab it and you can extrude it on this line And the same goes for any vertice too, or even a edge. So I'm turning left and right on the little joystick and pushing and pulling. It's just moving up and down. If you want to grab these, you can drag them down. It grabs all of them. We don't really want all of them, but we can grab a few of these. Let's see if I can grab just the line. So grab that. So there's a lot of weird hotkeys. So I'm pulling this button as I grab this, so it grabs that whole thing. They're just stuff you need to get familiar with, and you'll understand it later on. It doesn't hurt to practice with this program, because it's not a it's not one of the easiest programs I've learned, but once you get familiar with what can do what. And right here, look, I don't need that little tool that you see on the side. I can grab this and do this too. I think I just like the tool because it's you can see a visual and I can grab it. So now you can start to see this ship. What part did I grab? I got this, that. So what else we got? Thrusters. Let's find a thruster. Let's look at one of these. This looks like a cargo thing or something that can go on it. Let's do this. The flat one's not too bad, because you always see movies and stuff and they're all round. Let's go with something unique. So let's do this. Let's drag it up. Now I'm going to show you something here. So let's go ahead and drag it back. And what we can also do is go to here and we can turn it to mirrored. And so now we got one on both sides. The tricky part is that it only did some of it. So we need to figure out how to get all of it. How do we get all this? Let's figure it out. Let's break it down. Let's break this down. So we're gonna do piece by piece, and that was this one. And we're gonna have to probably do piece by piece. So let's go ahead and do that. We're here, mirrored. Sometimes it's not as easy as it, like it could be a little easier. But these are pieces. And what I could do inside of Blender, I could probably attach everything as one, and that's another thing I can do. That way it's not having to be mirrored each piece. And so that's something I'm learning, that like, all right, you got this piece and I want to mirror it, and so it's fine. We learn as we go. Let's just mirror each piece and see what we got. Looks like most of it. I didn't do no more than 3 on some of these, so it's not too bad that I did, a few at the bottom. And there you go. There's only this one little piece right here that I see. And mirror. Boom. And there you go. And we can always turn it on afterwards if I see something that I'm missing. But now everything's looking like it is mirrored. Yeah. And if not, it's whatever. We'll figure it out. So let's go ahead and group this again. Grab everything and group. See? And then what I can do, not that, I can grab this now. And let's go to the rotation. I can rotate it. And 90 degrees. And let's move it over. The back face culling is not on here, so that's something to think about when I do it in Blender. But look at that, looking pretty neat. And these pieces were fairly quick to model on with that plugin. So let's see where we want it. Let's just kind of visual, get a visual, maybe a little back, push in one direction. And don't forget, we can even duplicate this. We can drag it up and have double thrusters and offset it or something if we really want to. I've been playing Star Wars Squadrons on the Oculus. Oh, if you haven't tried that, you have an Oculus, it's so cool. So that's something interesting. When you look at it, it almost might be too busy though. Think about it. How many thrusters do you really need? But then you can start to do little thrusters. See that? It's like a miniature thing. And this is where you just, gotta experiment. One right there, or down here. And I didn't do it straight, so let's do that straight. Let's duplicate it down, and then we can do this down. So that's the fun part about this. You can just get it in here, and we'll scale this just a little bit and bring it up. And you can also use these tools or this tool, whatever's easiest for you, whatever you're trying to learn. I almost want to rotate it. Let's see what it looks like. Back 90. Now you kind of have a there we go. See? Same model, but it looks like a little bit unique, but keep into the same kind of little family of that. All right, what else can we do? Let's add. I know I got this wing, but do I really need it? Let's see how it looks. It's just kind of flip it in there. But just real quick, let's just kind of makes it a little bit more edgy, and that's fine. That's pretty cool too. Let's just overlay it. Let's see what it does. Grab the wrong thing. We can scale too. I don't know if scaling it's gonna help. I don't know. Because really what we're doing, we're just trying to kitbash. We're just trying to make it work. I don't know if 2 wings are even necessary. I like this wing, even though I built this detailed one, but that's part of this, right? We're just kind of kit bashing. So we'll leave that there. Let's just scale this one up. And what I like is that we can actually scale it just editing. Let's go this way, and then like that. Now you kind of got something going. Push it down a little bit. Give it a little Star Fox feel. And go with that. And what we can do is duplicate. Give it an extra layer. Duplicate and rotate. maybe. Let's do that. Let's rotate these. This is where this tool comes in handy. 20, 25. Yeah, let's go 25. Oh, too far. Oh, I'm trying to grab this one, buddy. 25. There you go. Little slant. Let's bring this up. We can always integrate it. And like I said, kit bashing is just kind of what it is. It's just getting your kit and your bashing things together. Okay, cool. What else can we add? We got this. I always like this little wing thing, so let's bring this out. What I'm going to do is stop this recording just in case. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to just got to make sure. Let's save sketch. Okay, so let me do one pause to break this recording, and then I'm going to come back and do it again. Not do it again, but save it. Make sure it saves, because you never know with these recording things. And I'm going to test it out, make sure everything recorded fine. Be right back. Okay, so it looks like we're all good. Time has been flying. It's this morning. I get up, worked out, and still got to get my coffee, but yeah, we got a little bit more time. I can start putting some more stuff together. Just kind of show a little bit what I mean. Everything recorded fine, so we're good. I like recording on this, but sometimes you just never know. You spend a good amount of time and on computers, you realize they're not as trustful sometimes. Like either audio cuts out, technical difficulties, but when you're having fun, it doesn't matter. So we're having fun with this. So let's rotate this. These were 25, so let's go 25 there, and then we'll go and I'll scale them down just slightly. Seem to be angled a little bit, but we can fix that. Look at that. Just little details, little things. And so far, like, check this out. It's the Oculus is handling this pretty well, right? So far, I'm still going steady. But if I were to start duplicating this like 20 times, I'd feel it. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't even think I'm gonna use it. That's part of kit bashing. We don't need everything. We just have it if we need it. And we still need something for the bottom. And I think that could work. Let's grab this. And we'll go ahead and use this. Let's get something for that bottom. Get rid of that banana stuff. All right. The banana, in case you're like, why do they put a banana in there? It's for the navigation, for if you want to walk around in here and how you say it. I'll show you probably if I get a little time. Let's see what we got. Let's just get this model kind of up to par. See, look at this. This stuff is so cool. And don't get me wrong, I love Gravity Sketch. I love modeling in it, but it does take a little while to do stuff in there. And comparing to how quick I did something in Blender, just 5 clicks and you get something like that, or a few clicks or less clicks, more clicks, who knows? But it's still so cool. Like you gotta use these tools like just like paintbrushes, right? These are different paintbrushes. Different tools can help you get there. That's odd. My little recorder thing turned into a yellow thing instead of red, and that's not normal. That's not normal. Look at that. That's kind of works, and I could push that deeper in there, but I like that it's kind of. We're being wasteful in geometry, right? Because you geometry you can't see, but it's all good. We're just playing around. This little cockpit needs something under it though. See what we can do. I'm running out of parts. So get a little creative. That can be there, but let's scale it down some. There we go. Just lift it up just slightly. Oh, it took a little piece of that, right? So let's push it back just enough. Nobody's got to know. Just people watching, right? Look at that. So now you kind of got like a little bit of a flow. You can start to see the detail coming into play. Now I've got all these other little things I can add on here. Do I want them on there? I don't know. Let's see. Because you can actually incorporate some stuff. It might get too busy, but we don't really need it to be big. We can do it like this big. And then we can go make it like a hatched. See? And so you start adding little details here and there. And doesn't hurt. Don't need to put it everywhere. We just want it in a few places. Let's see if we can do mirror on some of it. If it'll let me. Did it on one part. Let's go and break this open. Yeah, let's pull it away so we can see it. I only grabbed one little piece, so let's break it and just go one by one. It shouldn't be too many pieces. It's just like that and this. Let's see what it looks like. There's one little piece right there. What is it? This one. Mirror and it's already mirrored. So let's see. Let's go back. That's interesting. I don't know if that was a flip face. You see it? But it's covered up, but it actually works. So it's whatever. I'm happy with it. So let's group this back. And you can kind of see it's just a little bit of fun. It's the main thing. Have fun with it. If you're not having fun, then what are we doing, right? So you can see this peeking out. What is that? So let's grab this and just push it up just a little bit. And this could be like a little hatch, right? We just need one little hatch. Oops. And that's why I like this this tool. We're gonna use this to scale it down and then move it into place. So we could probably put like a little hatch on the top. Emergency hatch, right? And that's another thing is that how big is this thing? It seems pretty massive so far. Massive ship. This is where I start dropping people in, start seeing where we stand. I guess we could rotate it. It ain't gonna hurt. There you go. Little piece, little hatch. I need something else. What are we missing? What are we missing? I like this thing right here. Check this out. So I made this. I don't know what I had planned for it, but that can be the platform. Look at that. Yes. We have a scene. Ship loading dock. It doesn't have to be on it either. We can put another platform under it to give it even more something, right? And while we're at it, right, let's just let's see how this looks. Now you can see just playing around trying to get some looks. And there is a way to click that in the center of your model, but hit and miss when I do it, so I don't know what I'm doing when I do it. I think it's a double click it or something. See, kind of a platform. A little crooked. So look how small it looks. And then if I pull the trigger thing, you can see this for what it is. Boom. Big old thing right there. But I don't know if this wants to be that big, right? It's almost too big. Let's scale you down just enough. Just enough. And then see? Kit bashing. Just gotta push things just enough to make it look like it's. Now we got a different piece. I don't even know what that made into, but it made into something. And then we can grab these two things and push them up. And then I can get, ooh, went too far. And do I need these? I don't know. But now we can grab some geometry from here. And we can create one of these. And let's do it in the center. Let's get the grid density 20. Let's see if I can get in the middle. There you go. And then we'll edit this to be down. Scale it. This way I kind of got a platform. And you can keep modeling on this. It doesn't have to be that, but let's get this out so we can move it to scale. Let's see. Can I get a platform, but I want it small. There you go. It'll snap. You just gotta play with it. And then we can push this up and down. And then we can edit some more. So all these other things are there, but I want this to kind of be a floating ship. I don't even know how it's going to dock. I guess it's got its own little use your imagination. That's where we're at. Imagination time. Let's do this. Let's get that box. See, look how big that is. So to get scale, and to know how big something is, this can be like a little scientist thing. And these things we really don't need, so they're there. We can remove it to save space and start adding more geometry, or we can keep it. The other thing is we can put in a layer. Just grab these and we'll just drag them into one of these. I don't know. Will they go? Yeah, right there, and turn them off. Visibility off. So this would be my main layer. Active layer is invisible. We need to be on a main layer. So I'm getting a little stutter, and I'm not sure if that's just from the recording, but we're almost done. I'm running down on time. So the last thing to do, we can go up, and where we at? Local. It was human body. Usually by default, it's already like male, female body. I'm trying to find that folder. Let's find it. Let's go up. Reference library. Environments. Local sketches. Nope. Workspace. Built-in models. Here we go. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to grab this, drag it in here. We can do it 1-to-1. That's pretty big. We don't need it that big. The ship is probably different scale, but it's okay. So this is where we can grab him. And this is where you get scale. I could stick the guy right there and you can kind of get an idea. But that doesn't look right, does it? It looks crazy. So now look at that. You get that feeling that it's massive and it's crazy. And we can make him in a color so we can see him. He's an orange guy. We can probably scale him just a little bit. That way he can handle this box. So I kind of get an idea for scale. We can scatter these about. What's cool with Gravity Sketch, you can get this little dude and start moving him around. So he's working on here. And then you got another guy on this side trying to. Now we got like a little scene going on. They're working on something. They're like, we got the box. We're making box stuff. So the other thing is pretty neat is we're not gonna figure out why it's floating, but check this out. Let's give it some hoses. Look at this. This is what I like, is that we can actually just kind of add some stuff, and then they're trying to fuel up this thing. And these are fuel pods, right? Or something. I don't know. And just go back and forth and going up. See? And we can edit this too. Edit it up and down. This is like a little playground now. Now just playing around and having fun. And you can see that it's still fluid. It's not slow. We can add even more stuff. We can just keep going. if you start feeling creative, you're just like, I'm just gonna block some stuff in, and just keep going with it. You can keep modeling. You don't have to stop there. Just get some ideas. You're like, I want some wings or pieces or something else to give it a little more detail, and we can flesh that out and get more detail, so you can start to see. Let's get the color the same though. Boom, same color, and just raising it. And I don't know why this ship needs so many wings, but it apparently needs it to float. So that's where it's at. If you want to play around, just get in here, play with your lights. So yeah, just using Blender and a few models and bringing it in, and you got something going on here. Let's turn off that grid. Can we turn the grid off? I don't want to see you. I don't want to see the grid. Smart move off. Nope. Let's see. There you go. Let's turn that off. That way we get a picture time now. That's where it's at. That's just kind of, and even after this, watch, if I want to start making parts of it stand out, there you go. And then you start doing color in here, and then you can export it out and get a sketch. And I don't know, there's just so many different directions to go, but this is pretty fun. Just wanted to show a little bit where I was going with this. So I started in Blender and started bringing models in, making my own little Kitbash set. I got a few models I was practicing with, and it was going. I didn't put nothing here, but we can always add later. But you don't look from the back, you look right here. This is the shot. So hopefully this is informative. Hopefully this helped. I know once you get into it, you're gonna be having fun. And the other thing is, I'll try to put a link or something, but Blender's free. There's no excuse on that one. You can get that program free, and then just back and forth, use Gravity, and then upload it to landing pad, come back and forth and bring stuff in, and you're concepting fast. And then even on this, like if you're trying to concept, you're like, well, maybe if we had this and stuff like that, you can start getting some crazy stuff going on. You don't have to stop there. You can just keep going and just drawing on here. So just hopefully little things to think about, and hope this helped, and hope you have a good day. So thanks for watching.